Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. Today I wanted to do a VR to Candy Soul and Soil and Rachel at Amethyst Ascension in response to the tag that's been going around, hashtag top 10 curiosity decks. Now, Candy started this and she had 10 beautiful decks with some really great responses, so I'll put that link below. And then Rachel at Amethyst Ascensions started talking about curiosity cabinets and what you might keep in them, which expanded my search for what I might put in my cabinet. So I have broken the top 10 curiosity decks, and I've just pulled out what you might find, because I figured when you open my cupboard, it looks like a curiosity cupboard to most people. So because I'm that way inclined, I've attempted to batch this up. So I'm not going to show every single deck and every single card, but I have a number of playing cards which people might find curious. So I have the collector's edition of the Bosch playing cards, and this one there is a walkthrough on my channel, and it is a deck of cards that when you lay them out creates a picture. So anyone who's familiar with how this system works should understand. That's just the picture. So for instance, if you start putting your cards down like that, as you can see, an image starts to appear, and they are playing cards. This is the Jack of Diamonds. Here you have the Queen of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, and they don't run in order because of the way the picture lays out. So we have a Joker then that comes up, and then we have more Kings and Queens. So that's that deck, which actually I really like. It's good fun. And it's just a nice one to have, to be honest. That's the reason why it's there. I just really liked the concept of this, but I'll never play with it. So this one sits in my box. So I did a video called What's in the Box, and that one is in my box. I have the Alchemy playing cards, which I bought a number of years ago, but sadly I was really ill at the time when they arrived, and they kind of went into a box of things that reminded me of being really ill. But this deck is another one that I really do enjoy the artwork on. I love looking at. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. It's all upside down, and it's just a bit of dark kind of tattoo art on the cards, and that is the reason why I really enjoyed it. So it was a birthday treat to myself. So that was probably one of my second curious playing card decks, to be honest. And I have the Cartomancer's poker decks. So we have the shadow and the clarity versions, and instead of getting them all out, so it is the details for these decks should you want to look them up there. So at Cartomancer Cards or cartomancercards@gmail.com and cartomancercards.com. Same on both sides. And here's an example of the cards. So I have a signed card. So this was a 2022, came out at the start of the year. And this is from the Shadow, and this is a 7 of clubs, as you can see. And we have a little kind of skeleton person. Depends how you're looking at it. They're either lifting the covers to reveal what's underneath, or they're looking to wrap themselves up and cover themselves. So yeah, so this deck runs a bit like that. They are slightly different in both decks. They do come with little white books, which I've managed to shove in there, so they only just fit their tuck boxes. So instead of pulling them all about for you, there's lots of these on the old internet. I probably have a walkthrough of these on my channel as well for you to look at. And then we have the some of my favourite playing cards, or for looking at really, in this lovely gunmetal edging. These are really nice, thick, laminated, plasticky feel cards. So these are the Royal Mischief edition 2, is this second edition? Playing cards by Patrick Valenza from Deviant Moon. And these ones are just really good fun, really funny cards, really funny concepts with pictures, and you know, really kind of bringing out the humour. Well, I think maybe this gives us an insight into the humour of Patrick Valenza. I could be wrong. These might all just be some of his kind of channeled artworks, but it just, to me, yeah. And if you're a little bit that way inclined, then it definitely is going to speak to you. Poised for battle. We have the Joker. that's another great deck. So those are the playing card decks. So I kind of thought if I do them as a genre or a collection, and then this one is going to take me into an even bigger collection, which I won't show the entire section of, but it will be in, or parts of this will be in my curiosity cabinet. So how do I do this? Let's reach across. So for one, this box would be in my curiosity cabinet because it has a hand drawing from Patrick Valenza. So the box is definitely in my curiosity cabinet. And then these are some of the decks, not all of the decks, but representation of some of the Trionfi della Lunas from my collection that are currently sat on my desk or in my cupboard. So these ones are here. And if we just look at this one, and I can put the rest back. For instance, so these are the illustrated pips, which have been out for limited edition. This is the Aqueductical deck, which would be in my curiosity cabinet. Why? Because I love the art. People think these are curious more than I do, so it's not really because I find them curious. But the other reason would be because some of these are just in my collection for collectors' kind of curiosity's sakes, to see what the different colours were like, the different colourways, until I found the colourway that I liked. And I actually have been working with this one all month, and I really like working with this deck. So I'd probably pop it in there more for the shock factor for other people than me. So that's why those decks might be in my curiosity cabinet. Then I would probably drop these into my curiosity cabinet. So some oracles by the same creator, Patrick Valenza, Deviant Moon. So this is the Deluxe editions, and as you can see, one's not open and one is. Just because I'm not that keen on the colourway of this one, but I really wanted the deck. It's there. I have it for when I do decide I want to work with the colourway, because if I've discovered anything about me is I'm contrary. And this one, more again for other people's value than mine, but it's just got that kind of witchy aesthetic. So maybe from a, it looks old and curious and like it belongs in a curiosity cabinet. This is why this one maybe will be in my cupboard. But again, it's something that I do use more regularly than not. And I think most people who own this deck use it more than they realise. And therefore, it's borderline as to whether it belongs in that cabinet of curiosities. But again, it's all in that same vein, that same kind of dark humour, I suppose, here. And you kind of, you know, you either appreciate them or you don't. So some more. I would also have these. These are definitely in my box for my what's in the box, and for that reason they are here in my curiosity cabinet. So it is the pink version of this one. I just picked up the wrong, no, I picked up the wrong one. Put it back, excuse me. This one here, which is signed. I have opened it to prove that it's in there, but that one would be in my curiosity box because it's still wrapped. And then I have the beast pack that goes with it, and in there I have the card that came with the deck, and then I have the paradoxical, and I have the standard version. The beast packs, again, I've opened these in my videos. So these are extension packs to the Trionfi della Luna, and here's why they'd be in my curiosity cabinet, because they are animals. The write-ups for these are really humorous and fun, again, depicting that kind of sense of humour that Patrick is becoming well known and loved for. A darker humour as well. And because most people have never seen, worked with, or know about this type of deck. So for that reason, it is in my curiosity cabinet. I'm not sure, I think it might be on one of the blue. I did a walkthrough of a Trionfi, it might be in the blue or the purple, possibly the blue. And in there, these are in blue and purple as well, but they're in like a Dulux box. So I did like do a much better walkthrough of those types of decks in there. So the beast pack and anything wrapped and signed would also be in my curiosity cabinet. I've thrown this one in, but not the main deck. So here we have the paradoxical version of the Deviant Moon Tarot. And I would also have with this one. So I'd have the Witches edition, which is wrapped and signed and drawn on by Patrick Valenza. But this one would be in there because of the fact that it's paradoxical and a different colourway, which makes it different to the current one that we all know and love. And again, brings that more curiosity factor out, makes the cards read a little bit differently as well. I think there's a different, I'm not a great one for this feel of decks, but this does feel different. I don't have like all my decks pigeonholed and set to tasks and for certain types of readings. But this one, I just find has a slightly different, with the colourings on it, it just has a very different kind of feeling for reading. So that one would be in my curiosity cabinet for that reason, not because it's, not just because it's Patrick Valenza, but it'd be in there more because of that. And again, because it's a limited edition deck, I suppose, so it's more of a collector's type of thing. And this one, along with all the extra cards that came with it, would also be sat. So Patrick always gives out all these great extras. I've got quite a few Olivers, quite a few Ouija boards now. Look, the beautiful Mildred. We have the star, the twins, and then these items also belong, I think, in my curiosity cabinet because they all came with this Witches edition deck. And of course we have them signed there. And there's the witch. And there's that one. So they definitely have earned a spot in my cupboard of curiosities. The Abandoned Oracle, much for the same reason. So what have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 6 in my eyes. Okay. So the Abandoned Oracle, again, the colorway, the humor, the pictures, that is simply why this is in my cabinet of curiosities. It's not one that I generally think needs to be in there, but I get it. Other people think it does. So for entertainment purposes here, I'm dropping this into my cabinet of curiosities. But it's a great deck for using, for reading with, and the little guide that comes with it again is also really humorous. If you don't get what you need straight off the keywords on these and the pictures, then he does do a really nice little guidebook for most of his decks. Once you've purchased from him, then they become downloadable to you, but you have to purchase from the Deviant Moon website. Okay, so that's the Abandoned Oracle. And then this one. So I can't actually remember how many of these I've seen go into people's cabinets, but I suppose that's what's led me to put most of mine in there. So this one is the Oracle of Black Enchantment, and it's this kind of woodblock effect deck, which we used to see way back in the days of illustrations. I believe this is all hand line drawn to look like, but it's just another really great deck. And again, the little white book that's downloadable to go with this has some really nice dark meanings, light meanings, and words of wisdom that go with these cards. You can just read them intuitively. It doesn't have to be done with the book. But it's another great deck in the collection. Oh, sorry. Okay, so that's me. I think that's all of my Deviant Moons in the collection now. That's everything gone there. The other thing I would just pop there is all the extra cards I have from Patrick Valenza, because they all have, these come with their own curious factors. These are from the upcoming oracles. I can't wait to get. There's another Oliver card. So I have 2 of those because I ordered a bunch of decks. We have some miniature secret pocket oracle cards here, from some of his other early editions. Here we have more from the Oracle deck, the Wounded Bird. We have the Blue Devil, which I was very lucky to get hold of. We have this one, so skeletons. I'm not sure if this is from the upcoming Skeleton Oracle or that he hints about or not, but Mildred. Here's our Midnight card. And back to those. So, moving forwards, decks in my collection that are there because they're different. So I have the Normal Tarot, or Not So Normal Tarot, from the Caretakers Normal Tarot. This is the guidebook that comes with this. Well, they do have another guidebook that goes with it, but this is basically what you get to put in your box. It tells you about the cards. This one I did in one of my shiny tarot bling videos. I talked a little bit about these, and these are very different. It's a very different deck, so to use it takes a little bit of time and study. We have a whole like suit of books, and for that reason this is in my cabinet of curiosities. There's a bunch there that are upside down, look. So we have Summer, we have Solstice, the Lost Book, we have Mothers, 7th of Summer, Sinners, 7th of Autumn. So yeah, for that reason this deck will be in my cabinet for sure. Lost count, what are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then there's a few here. So the Gypsy Witch fortune telling playing cards. I have had these a while. I've tried reading with them. I haven't been able to give them the time that they deserve, to be quite honest with you. So they do need a bit more time from me, and that's why these are in my cabinet, because I haven't had the time to sit and actually work with them and fully understand the spreads. So I'm going to drop these in for the moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, with that being said, I have done a few spreads with these, and I believe I got quite good readings from them, but it took a while. This system took me a long time to use, so I need to spend time so I can get down and dirty with it. That's 9. The Astro Oracle cards are in there because it's, again, another deck system that needs studying from me. Just something I'm curious about, rather than it being a curious looking item. So this is a deck that just helps you to learn or understand astrology, and that's why it's here. So it's to work with the kind of these words. So the ascendants, the sextiles, the trines, understanding the planets, the astrology influences with the planets, and how they all move through the sky, and things, north node, south node, things that I've heard of. I have a very, very limited vocabulary of, maybe 3 words for each thing. And this is here because I'd like to slowly, over time, learn to work better with the astrology, broaden what I already know about astrology. Here we have, so I've dropped the Witch's runes in here for a minute, which have just arrived because I haven't worked with them yet. So these are in here because they need working with. But the sister deck or companion deck that comes with this is the Crystal Ball Oracle by the White Witch Oracle, now called Athena Carna. And this is like the 8-ball Oracle. Some people really, really enjoy this as clarify deck. I've said many times, it does not work for me. It doesn't clarify anything. Every time I get this out to use it, what I get, all I ever get is listen to your intuition, or there's another one in here. Get more information. No, not that one. There's another one. They're the same ones that come out to me. No need to worry. Listen to your intuition. But I never get the yes, the no's, the kind of directives. So this is in here for that reason. It's a great little fun deck for, pulling out and having a laugh with. So they're in here. And then I also dropped in the Magical Oracle because, again, it's a new system to me, and it's a system that is probably not used by everyone. It's a round deck, it's symbology, and I've got it here because I want to learn about symbols. A little bit about the history, which is why I got the round deck and not the oblong deck. And yeah, just to find out a little bit more on how to work with them. So that's why this is in my cabinet. So things that kind of are curious to me are in there, as well as things that are probably curious to others as to what on earth has she got that in there for. Now I've just got a few more decks to add to this, add to my 10. So the first one, I know I've seen this in a few videos. So we have the Carnival at the End of the World. I keep calling this End of the Row. Now, is that because it was a film or something on TV with it in? It's a great deck. It's been made beautifully. It's so slippy. Oops. Is it Pagan Other Worlds? I think this might be a bit like the Pagan Other Worlds that people with small hands complain about cardstock wise. It's a really good cardstock though. It's really well made. It deserves its place in here. Like, it really deserves to be in this cabinet. It's full of weird and wonderful creatures and pictures. It comes with a guidebook, so I do have a guidebook to help go into this. I love it. I love the concept of it, but it doesn't really resonate with me for reading at the moment. So it sits in my what's in the box until I'm ready to pull it out and bring it into my everyday usage. So I have this one. And yeah, I know I'm not the only one, so what I don't know is whether other people find it as difficult to read with as I do, or if that's just me. So I have this one. I've thrown this one in for good measure because it's by the it's the White Witch Tarot, and it is by, can't see her name off the top of my... Probably there, you can probably all see it, but I can't. I can't pronounce that. There you go, that's her name. And this one is here because I just think the images are fascinating. I do use this. It's a mages only deck, and for that reason I would pop this in my cabinet because it's something that I don't own lots of. I don't own lots of mages only decks, and it deviates from the normal system. So for that reason, this is in my cabinet. And I really like it. I do like this deck. Here's one. I've had this for a long time and I haven't used it. So it's Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot, Monsters of the Macabre and Autumn Scenes. And I know lots of people have shown this one as well, so I don't need to talk about it for too long. It's currently out of print as I understand it. Mine is still in order because, as I said, I really haven't worked with it. It's just some really nice collagey artwork, which, by the way, I never really thought I was into, but I just find it amusing. Like, it's just, this just reminds me of like Nosferatu. This would be Nosferatu's wife, you know. Lots of people pull it out for Halloween. I can definitely see why. It just reminds me of that kind of like horror genre. It's really got that vampire feel to it. And for that reason, it's in my cabinet of curiosities, more so because I haven't used it. So it's, you know, it's still sat in my to be used pile. But I'm really glad I've got it. So that one's in there for that reason. This has definitely been in a video that I've seen, definitely. So it is the Barbara Walker Tarot. Why have I dropped it in there? Because the video that I saw, and if I do find it, I'll link it below, inspired me to do so because it's a different system again. So this one works slightly differently to normal tarot. It has the same names and everything, but this one comes with, so like 6 cups, it comes with keywords. We have childhood. The keywords aren't necessarily what you would normally link to the tarot. 9 of Cups, happiness, you might link that one, but 3 of Wands, fate. 7 of Wands, challenge. We've got the 6 of Swords, passage. Impasse, I think it's the... And we have deities for the court cards, which is a bit different. And this deck was made many years ago. So Ace of Pentacles, we have Reward, Oppression. I can't find the one I'm wanting now. The Ace of Swords, I think it is in particular, has a very different meaning to what you would associate it with normally for tarot. Nine of Swords, Cruelty. What's going to be the last one? No, I've probably passed it. Anyway, so that's why I've dropped this one in here. It comes in a tin from US Games. I do recommend it, highly recommend it as a deck to use. The original comes, and it's very expensive secondhand, but the actual images are almost the same size as the images in this deck. There's just a slight colour variance to them. So I don't recommend that you have to go and buy the expensive original if you can get it virtually the same size in a tin. So the cards are just bigger, but the images within the cards are the same almost. And you can see there's plenty of walkthroughs on YouTube. But I did get the book to go with this one to unlock what Barbara Walker's thinking, because her mind is amazing. I have a few of her books actually. So they would be in my cabinet. One, because it's rare and hard to get hold of, and two, because it's very different. And this one, would it be complete without this? So, yeah, I caved. There we go. So that's just got the dog's attention. So the Macabre Tarot comes in this coffin, has a guidebook with it that's sort of semi-colour. As you can see, I haven't worked with it. It comes with gilded edges. And it's just a fun deck, really. I wasn't going to get it. Then I sat on the fence. I've been on and off the fence with this for a long time. Then I've just got it for the sake of having it because it was a fun deck. The images are slightly different. They don't really do a lot for me in that respect, but it was just, yeah, more the quirk factor. This one's in my collector's genes, so quirk factor, and so that I have it. So like the sun, Two of Bones. So the suits are different as well. They've got different named suits. And when we get to here, is it here? So we have the Terror of Bones, the Nightmare of Bones, the Haunting of Bones, and the Massacre. So that's your page, knight, queen, king. And there's your Massacre of Bones. And then you've got your daggers, your crystal suit, and cups. Why everything else got renamed, I don't know. But that is that one. So that's just for the fun factor, the kind of like total tongue-in-cheek factor. That one is in my cabinet. It's probably sat at the back as a prop. I just thought I would throw this one in because this is in my cabinet of curiosities, as in I bought it because I wanted to know what it was like to work with this deck. I was really curious about the double-sided cards. I really wanted to know what it was like from the back side of the cards, more so than working with the deck. What I discovered when I had this deck, however, is that I can't get to grips with it very well. Because when I'm shuffling, for those who know me, know I like a back to look at. I can't shuffle this and select the cards without seeing what I'm pulling, because on the backs is the other side of the cards. Now I have mixed this deck up and I've shuffled front and back into it. So some of the front's facing us, some of the back's facing us. But it just shows you, you know, so this one's the Nine of Pentacles. This is what's going on behind her, or if you like, the dark aspect or the nighttime aspect of the card. And then here we have the daytime aspect of the card, and probably what we're more used to seeing. And with our King of Pentacles, here we have what's going on behind him. We've got a watermelon. Reminds me of that famous saying, I carried a watermelon. And then here we have the front. So you'd expect this to be your daytime value, this one to be your nighttime value, but this would be what you're probably used to seeing when you look at your King of Pentacles. So yeah, it's there because it's a system that's a bit different. I haven't been able to get to grips with it. I do like to challenge myself occasionally. Those are my decks. That's what's in my weird and curious cabinet. And then alongside that, I've got a few of my crystals out to show you. So I have the cushion that my gran made. And this is the Estonian cornflower, the national flower for Estonia. So this is here, and it's in the colours of the flag. So I've got that there. I have one of my crystal skulls out just for representation, because this one's a bit different to all the others. This is blue and brown tiger's eye. So we've got hawk's eye and tiger's eye. I have one of my favourite pieces of labradorite here. So you can see it's a 3D carving of a sugar skull that sits in kind of like tomb encapsulation there. So I really like that. That's in my cabinet for safekeeping. I have my grey agate bird skull. Another piece of labradorite. Beautifully carved, this one. It's got a nice, there you go, nice piece of colouring on it. Back's gorgeous as well. So this is in my cabinet. Oops. Along with a piece of obsidian, which I love. Absolutely love this. I've had it for a little while now. My skulls and my, I don't know what I'll call him, raven. Looks a bit like a budgie, but black budgie. So I've got my raven there. I have, if you can see this one, this is strawberry quartz. I just love the way it's been cut and faceted, and it is of course a heart. So I don't know if that's picking up properly on the camera, but yeah, I like that one. One of my dragon skulls here for you. So just sort of pop him in for you to have a look at. And another carving obsidian angel. So I have some weird and wonderful shapes, and also just some weird and wonderful crystals. And to round it up, show you a bit of my shadow and light. Here's one of my favourite bracelets with some of my favourite beads on it. He's just brilliant, I love him. And obviously some bees and some butterflies and some lightness in there as well. But yeah, so that is from these people, for anyone that's been seeing them around. But I've been collecting these types of bracelets for a while. So that is, yeah, that's it. That's my cabinet of curiosities and weird and wonderful things. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope there's been something in there for you as well. I'd love to see what you've got. If you haven't joined in already, please do, and let's see your variations on the tag. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.